Morning. Whoa, I'm just gonna get started by sharing it around. So have a little dance for a second. Never gonna Here we go. Good morning. La, 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 morning, Melinda. Oh, my life. Make sure you say hello so I can say hello back. This is a live 55 request. Good morning. Wow. Hey, Bailey. I'm just sharing it around. Hello, nice to see you again, my gosh, that's lovely. Hey, Delane from Atlanta. Just getting the vibe going, and I'm just sharing it around. So as I say hello to everybody, thank you so much. Good morning, Robin. Nikki, this is Nikki's request. Yes, you can send me music requests. If you've got a request for a 555 to hype it up, send them in to me. I'm just going to turn it down. I think, is it Melinda who's just said, I finally made it on live for 2017. Woohoo! Doesn't matter that it's the 12th. I'm still in holiday mode, heading to the theme parks today and tomorrow with the family. How exciting. So Movie World, SeaWorld, all of those. I love those. They're such wonderful places. Hey, Donna, you've made it. You're live. Well, you're alive and you're live. Great to see you. Great to see you, everyone. That's so awesome. So my high vibes might be a bit higher this morning. Are they? Sounding a bit silly and giggly already. I went to the cricket. And for those overseas viewers that are having a look at the live this morning, I'm in Australia, obviously. We have this game called cricket, and my husband plays it, my son plays it, my husband watches it for 5 days in a row. It's the most ridiculous game, those big test matches. I can't get my head around them. But what they've done is they have turned the cricket match into a shorter period of time. So it, I think it started at 6:30 and it was over by 10. But the hype and the energy is just so electric. Good morning again, Georgina. Nice to see your face again this morning. Yeah, so the energy in there was absolutely electric. There were 35,000 people. They have what's called a hype crew. I guess it's a similar thing. I think I've seen it in basketball, maybe. You know, they just get the crowd going and they get the energy moving and moving through a stadium. And if you think of a stadium that doesn't have a ceiling, that's actually a really hard job to keep that energy going around. But what I noticed was this hype crew walking, hip-hopping around the oval and getting everybody excited and watching the game. And whenever they hit the ball, everybody went wild. It was amazing to have 35,000 high-vibed people. And you know that saying, the energy is electric? Well, after all the things that we talk about in here, yeah, energy, it's electric. I think I'm still hooked on the energy from last night. Reminding myself of that little squirrel on that show Over the Hedge, the one that drinks too much coffee. I haven't had any coffee yet, but I'm all excited. I'm all very hyped. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was, you know, it's hard to get to an event for some people all the time and to get into that energy and to get to that vibe. So it's up to us to be our own hype crew. And yes, I love doing these 555s for you guys because I can help with leading and getting the electric energy going on for you within your body, within your family, within your household, within your business, within your life. I feel so privileged that you guys tune in and allow me to be a part of that for you in your life. It's awesome. It's so cool. But if I'm not around on weekends, you've got to find how you can create your own vibe. Be your own hype crew, because it's in that electric energy that anything is possible. We start to remove all of the blocks and all of the filters and all of the things in our way because we're present to the hype or the vibe. I'm having a bit of a conflict calling it hype because for me, hype wears off. Vibe can come and go really, really quickly when you choose it to be there, right? So when you've all chosen to get up early maybe and to be here, I can see Nina. Hey Nina, nice to see you. Nina's joined from the other side of the world. I don't know what time it is for you, but you've made a choice, a conscious choice to join in something that's going to talk about high vibes. So that might be the first thing that you do as part of your hype process. Oh, sorry, I'm saying hype again. Part of your vibe process. You know, for me, this jumping around and dancing that I do in the mornings, I've only been doing this live for you guys since October last year. I was doing it nice and quietly in my little office all by myself. But I would get in and I would stir up the energy and move things around. You know, I've come down to the office this morning and the windows are closed, the door was closed, everything was locked up because we were out yesterday. So you bring the energy in and stir it around and lift it up. And that's what gets me into a state of clarity to deliver the message to you guys. One of the other things that I do to get into a high vibe state is, sorry, just had something falling off there. But the other things that I do to get myself into a high vibe state is to actually, and you see it now, I do it on here with that little bit of music. I actually start before I go live. Does that make sense? So I have the music on and I actually kind of get myself into a zone so that I'm focused, that I'm grounded, that I'm open to being a conduit for the universe or God or whatever the message that's going to be delivered to you today. So I do a little bit of hey Elise, I do that music and jumping around, and actually just jumping around. Can you remember the fun and excitement and the joy of jumping around on a trampoline? That is fun, but it's also great movement of energy through your body, right? So if I'm standing still like this, everything can kind of settle and sits back down into place. Whereas if I can jump up and jump around, I'm moving my energy. So yesterday, in the Rich Living Room yesterday, I did a little quick video because I was standing here. I've got to stand up there. So I was standing here, I'm going, I'm doing something I don't really like doing. This is really hard. It wasn't hard. It was just something that, you know, it's something that's got to be done that doesn't thrill me. And I turn the music up. So I quickly jump onto Spotify, turn the volume up and get going and get some inspiration and just get moving. And then by moving that energy, instead of standing and slouching and letting all my energy kind of fall flat around me, I kind of can perk it up, and you know, it may give me, it's like an extra recharge in the battery when you need that extra 2% on your iPhone just to get just to get through doing some data entry or doing an email or whatever it might be doing. So it's important for us to be our own hype crew, and we can do that with a process every morning. So my process in the morning, and I was asked this recently, what do I do? How do I stay in a high vibe state all the time? I'm not jumping around in a high vibe state or like, oh God, I'd be driving myself crazy, let alone everybody else. I am sensible and I do pull in when I need to, you know, absolutely focus and stop talking and get work done, sure. But I always get myself into the high vibe state before I start doing that. Does that make sense? So I don't go into a meeting dragging my feet and go, oh God, I've got to have this meeting and I'm really I get myself into a state. But I don't say, this meeting's going to be fabulous, this meeting's going to be great. I don't put any judgment on what the meeting is going to be. It's actually just getting myself into that high vibration state. Does that make sense? So maybe today, have a look around at what you're doing in your life, and when something becomes a little bit, oh, I don't want to do it, or, you know, like folding the washing, jump up and down for a little bit. And I'm not saying you got to jump up and down for a half an hour and do an aerobics class or anything like that, but just jump up and down, turn the music up, and see how much faster you actually get through that task that was really annoying for you or really hard for you to get stuck into. Does that make sense? So that would be cool if you guys can all post in here and go, well, yesterday when I had to make dinner for everybody and I didn't really want to, I turned the music up and everybody came into the kitchen and danced with me. You know, let's get joyful. Let's get joyful. I'm telling ya, I know that life has ups and downs. But when life has its ups and downs, if I'm in a high vibration state, those downs aren't going to go for too long. You know, where there's dark, where there's light, where there's on, where there's off, where there's black, where there's white. I get that. Yin yang. I understand that. I totally understand that. And there are ups and downs. But by being in a high vibrational state, most of the time, those downs it's going to be easier to find the gratitude in the downtime. And then when you can turn the downtime around quickly and get back up into a high state, that's when the magic happens. And that's when you become a magnet. You know, like if you did that, if you did turn the music up and you are dancing around the kitchen, I know as soon as I turn the music on in our house, the kids, it's like a magnet. Oh, here come the kids, which is so beautiful. But joyful, right? It's not, oh my God, I've got to cook another dinner. How many dinners have I cooked in this family? This must be 7,962. Instead of doing that, change it. Get yourself into the high vibe state. But only you can do that. It'd be great if you could buy a little me and stick me on your shoulder and say, psst, high vibe it. That's not possible just yet. I'm sure holograms aren't that far away. You might be able to do that one day. So, yes, definitely high vibe state. So I've just seen a question pop up. Let me I love that you don't put an outcome on the event. A classic problem for me, which often leads to disappointment. Rather, I should let the outcome unfold. Totally. And you know, what was I reading? Oh gosh, I can't remember. I'll think of the book and I'll post it in here. I was reading something about that, about how we, because we measure in money, we measure in what clothes you wear, what shoes you wear, what car you have. We've grown up in a world where that is our measure, right? So if you want to measure water, you use millimeters. If you want to measure your life, you measure how much money you've got or what clothes you wear or what car you drive, right? Does that make sense? What if we measured our lives by emotion? How much joy you have in a day? How much joy do you have in your measuring cup today? How much love, fun, happiness, laughter do you have in your measuring cup today? I don't know what's going to unfold. I've got a pretty good idea of how my day is going to unfold because I've got appointments and I've got lunch and I've got, you know, things that need to get done. But in between all that, I can't control those details. So I have to surrender to it. So yes, don't put an outcome on it. Yes, I would like to complete it, which is different to the outcome, right? That makes sense? I actually want to complete it and whatever it will be, it will be. Beautiful. Love that, Melinda. Love it, love it, love it. Anyone else got a question? I'm happy to ask a question if anybody else would like to. Let me just... Sometimes it lets me zoom and then scroll up on the phone, and then other times it just doesn't let me do it. See if I can see anything over on my page. Sorry, I will just... You're just going to have to look at the top of my head. I'm here. Where are we? There. Comments. Yep. I dance in the kitchen and my teenage boys come in and start dancing. Then they twirl me under their arm because I'm the shortest in the family. That's so beautiful. I'm the shortest too. Well, except for Lockie, but it won't be long. Great idea. Tomorrow I'm going to jump around before I record my video. I'm getting a bit nervous every time. Wow. Okay. So what I do before, I actually have had quite an easy time being on camera. I've been on television and in the media for quite some time, but even prior to that, I think I usually used to get more nervous in a big crowd rather than just with the camera. So definitely anything to get you into that high vibrational state and know what you're talking about. You know, have a few notes. I've got a few notes here. I actually have not looked at any of them. So just a moment while I look at them and make sure I'm talking about what I thought I was going to talk about. But I think that's the other thing too. It's the surrender of these 555s are all about giving you something valuable that you can implement in your day to day. And you know, it's something that has happened to me in my life. Yesterday I was at the cricket and I noticed this, and then here, can you take that away and do it in your life? So for me, it's not a very structured presentation. I do structured presentations where there is a bit more structure, but I actually surrender all of my control of these 555s pretty much, and just, you know, I'm a conduit for divine intelligence, and I just allow that to come through, and that's easier to do when I'm in the high vibe state. And I know that every single time I have delivered a 555, I have had one comment, at least one comment that has said that made a difference to me today. If I make a difference in one person's life today, that makes me feel, oh gosh, it just makes me feel all love and fluff and pink fairy floss. I just love that. I don't have to make a difference and reach 7,000 people every time I do a 555. You know, I did a library presentation once for the council. They contracted me to do some talks about money. And they rang me and said, oh, we've only got one person down for this thing. And I said, I'll be there. One person wants some information. I will be there for that one person. That's how I can be of service to humanity. I can be of service to one person. It doesn't have to be 7,000. Will be one day. We're nearly at 7,000 on this page, I think. Okay. I'm loving them. Such a great start to my day. Awesome. Oh my God. Is your child 6 foot? Oh, Lockie, you just said Lockie's, I got a Lockie. He's not 6 foot yet. All right, so any more questions? No, I don't think I can see any more questions. That's fantastic, guys. All right, have a wonderful day today, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 5:55. Remember, let me know what it is in your life today that you can go, how can I high vibe it? Haha, let's do that. Hashtag high vibe it. Okay. And if you need help turning it around, send me a message and I'll see what I can do to help. Okay, bye for now.